Good day, everyone. So today we will have our new topic. It's about polynomial equations. So during your grade 9, you learn how to solve quadratic equations using the zero product property. So in this lesson, you will apply the same property to solve equations involving polynomials in factored form. You will also learn how to factor polynomials and solve general polynomial equations. So, i-review natin yung mga na-discuss nyo during your grade 9 by simply having this example. So, we have an activity here, revisiting roots of equations. So, when we say roots, other word for roots is, pwede siya tawagin solution. So, this is solution, or pwede din siyang zeros. Because it will make the given polynomial equation equal to 0. So we will revisit your previous uh, topic about identifying the roots, the number of roots. So determine the real roots of each equation. So identify natin ilan ba yung real roots na meron. So for number 1, so how many real roots do we have? So ang real roots na meron dito is only 1. Why? Because the only root or solution or zeros of this equation, x minus 2 is equal to 2 is 2. 2 lang yung sagot kasi if we're going to find the root, maging ganito yan siya, diba? X minus 2 is equal to 0. So, ito siya i-transpose dun sa kabila. So, maging x is equal to 2. So, nag-iisa lang siya na solution. So, there is only one root. So, ibig sabihin, ang number of root refers to the value of x here that will make the given equation equal to 0. Or in other words, yung number of x's, yun yung roots natin. Bibilangin natin ilan lahat ng x. So, that will refer to us as the root. Sige, for number 2, how many roots do we have? So, isa lang yung x, so there is only 1. Dito. So, this one, so dalawa yung x, so this one, and ito. Kasi pag i-multiply natin ito, x times x, x squared. So, there are 2x. So, ibig sabihin, there are 2 roots, real roots. For number 4 naman, so dalawang x, or if we're going to multiply x times x naman, x squared. So, dalawa. Dalawa yung ating roots dito. For number 5, there is also 2 roots. Don't be confused. Sir, bakit 2 lang? May isa pa mang x dito. Now, in determining the number of roots, pag hindi siya na factored form, ang gagawin natin, you identify the degree of the polynomial. When we say degree, ano yung highest exponent? So, yung highest exponent man natin dito is 2. So, there are 2 roots. Pag hindi siya na factored form, ha? Okay, for number 6, bilang natin ng number of roots. So, yung x natin dito na first, dalawa siya, so 2. May isa dito, may isa din dito. So, there are 4 roots. 4 real roots. For number 7 naman, ito siya isa lang, 1. Tapos ito siya dalawa. So, ito siya, CS, hindi man siya na factored form, hindi na siya bibilang. Yung degree na lang. So, 1 plus 2 is 3. There are 3 roots. For number 8 naman, isa dito, dito dalawa. So, there are 3 real roots. For number 9, isa dito, isa Tapos dito, dalawa. Hindi man siya na-factor. No need to count this one. So, 2, 3, 4. So, there are 4 roots. And for number 10, ilang um, ilang real roots meron? So, dito, isa. Pero take note that this is being raised to the second power. Ibig sabihin, dalawang 3x plus 1 and 3x plus 1. So, dalawang ganon. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa na ito siya. So, 2, this is 1. Ito naman, apat na x minus 2. So, there are 4 times here. So, 4 dito, dito 1, and 2. So, ilan lahat? 2 plus 1, 3 plus 4, 7. So, there are 7 roots. Okay? So, yung activity na ito will give us an idea kung ilan lahat yung real roots sa isang polynomial equation. Okay? So, ganun yung pag-identify ng roots ng polynomial equations. Okay, let's proceed to the other activity here. Activity number 2. Finding the number of roots of polynomial equations. Some polynomial equations are given below. Complete the table and answer the questions that follow. If a root occurs twice, count it twice. Katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, di ba? We count twice. If thrice, count it 3 times and so on. The first one is done for you. So, number 1, tingnan natin. So, the degree, bakit 3? No? Bakit 3 yung degree dito? Example ito, yung number 1 is done for us. So, bakit 3? When we say degree, ito yung highest exponent, di ba? Ng isang polynomial expression. So, this one, degree niya is 3 because if we're going to multiply, if hindi siya naka-factored form, ang magiging first term is x cubed. Tama? Kasi dalawa man itong x dito. So, x plus 1, x plus 1. If we're going to multiply x times x, x squared. Tapos may isa pang x dito. So, that's x cubed. So, the degree refers to the highest exponent. So, the degree is 3. Okay. So, real roots of an equation. So, we will equate. Paano ba i-identify ang real roots? Pag i-review natin yung lesson yun, yung grade 9, we will equate each factor sa 0. Diba? So, magiging, ito kasi, ibig sabihin x plus 1 equals 0. Isa naman is dalawang x plus 1, diba? So, x plus 1 equals 0. And the other one is yung x minus 5 is equal to 0. So, para malaman natin yung value ng x, we will transpose yung 1 dito, diba? So, x is equal to negative 1. Isa naman is x is equal to negative 1, diba? So, x is equal to 5. So, yun na. So, twice nangyari yung negative 1. So, that's why negative 1, 2 times. Tapos, yung 5, yung isang x naman is 5. So, ito yung real roots natin. Negative 1, 2 times siya nag-appear, and 5. Number of real roots, 3. So, 3 kasi yung sagot natin. Negative 1, and 5. So, twice kasi naulit kasi yung negative 1. Okay, dito, number 2. Proceed tayo number 2. Ano yung degree ng number 2? So, the degree is, highest exponent is 1. Understood na may 1 man yung x dyan. So, the real roots of an equation is 8. Diba? So, x is equal to 8. Because, if we're going to substitute x dito, so 8 minus 8 is equal to 0. So, 0 is equal to 0. So, ilan lahat ang number of real roots? There is only 1. Dito, the degree for number 3 is 2. Then, the real roots, the first one is negative 2. And the second one is 2. Tama? Ito siya, i-transpose mo siya, negative 2. Ito naman, positive 2. Ilan lahat ang number of roots? 2. Okay, for number 4. For number 4, ilan lahat ang degree natin? 1, 2, 3. So, the degree is 3 kasi maging x cube man yan siya, di ba? Pag hindi siya na-factored. Actually, pag naka-factored form siya, madali lang natin ma-identify yung mga roots. Kasi na-factored form naman siya. So, the first root here is 3. Second real root is negative 1. Tapos, 1. So, the number of real roots is next, number 5. So, for number 5, ano yung degree ng polynomial natin? What is the degree? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the degree is 4. So, what is the first real root natin? The first real root is x is equal to 0. So, 0. Second one is 4. Third is negative 5. And the fourth one is 1. So, the real root is 4. Okay, number 6. Number 6, the degree is tatlong ulit, paulit itong 3, di ba? Because of the cube here. So, 2x, so 4. The degree is 4. So, the first real root is 1. Tapos, 3 next, pero yung 3 natin will appear 3 times. Yan. So, ilan lahat ang number of real roots natin? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. For number 7, so this one, mangyayari dito is dalawa, tapos dito is tatlo. So, there are 5. So, anong napansin nyo? This one is a quadratic expression, tama? Pero hindi siya na-factored. Hindi siya na-factored form. So, we cannot identify automatic the real roots here. So, kailangan nyo i-apply. Ano ba yung mga natutunan nyo how to get the roots of a given quadratic equation. So, pwede nyo gamitan siya ng factor. By factoring, pwede nyo gamitan ng extracting the roots, completing the square, and using the quadratic formula. So, diba yun yung mga ginagamit natin during your grade 9. So, here, ano ba yung pwede natin gamitin? This one is a prime. 13 is a prime number. So, kailangan nating, ano ba ang pwede natin gawin dito? Okay. So, let's use na lang the quadratic formula. Remember nyo ang quadratic formula. Yung quadratic formula, yung x equal to, ano natin kung ma-remember pa natin, negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Maalala nyo ito during your grade 9. All over 2a. So, di ba yan yung ginagamit na formula? Sige, try natin hanapin yung roots nito. Gamitan natin siya ng x squared minus 4x plus 14. Sige. X squared, ito sa blank sheet natin, x squared minus 4x plus 13 is equal to 0. So, hiwalay natin muna. Hiwalay muna natin siya dito. Na kasi ito siya, automatic kasi ito, the root here is, ito, ma-identify na kasi na factor naman siya. So, hiwalay muna natin ito and equate natin sa 0. Sige, hindi natin pwede ito siyang gamitan ng factor theorem no? Kasi walang factor kasi ng 13. 13 kasi is a prime that will give you a sum of -4. So, wala siyang uh, fact, uh, factor. Walang factor yung 13 na makagive ng -4 na sum. So, ang gagawin natin, gagamitan natin siya ng quadratic formula. -b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yan, di ba? Maalala nyo yan. So, yung a natin, yung value ng coefficient dito, a. Ito yung b natin, ito yung c natin. So, negative equals negative times -4. Kasi ang b natin -4, tama? So, plus minus square root of -4 squared. So, lagyan natin dito ha. A natin is 1. B natin is -2. And our C is 13. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times A natin is 1 times 13. Equals 2 times 1. So this one negative times 4 is positive 4 plus minus -4 squared is 16. Tapos this one, 4 times 13. Okay, calculator. -4 times 13 is 52. So minus 52 all over 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Next, 4 plus minus. So 16 minus 52 is 36. Negative 36 over. And now, may negative yung 36 natin, di ba? Ang rule, walang square root na walang square root ang negative numbers kasi imaginary siya. Maging imaginary siya. So, ibig sabihin, this one is not a real root. Hindi siya real root. Pero tingnan na lang natin ang value niya. 4 plus 4 plus minus square root of, pwede natin gawin ganito, 36 times negative 1 over 2. Kasi, ang 36 perfect square man siya. So, hiniwalay ko yung negative 1 because the square root of negative 1 is equal to imaginary or your I. So, pwedeng ganito na siya. So, 4 plus minus 36 kanang eraser natin. The square root of 36 is 6. Tama? Square root of 36 is 6. What is the square root of negative 1? That's I over 2. So, magiging, ito, pwede man na i-divide na yan siya. So, this will become 2 plus minus 6 divided by 2 is 3i. So, pag-iwalay natin yung dalawa kasi may positive dito. The first value of x natin is 2 plus 3i. And the second one naman is 2 minus 3. So, yan yung ating roots. So, since may I siya, this is not real roots. This one has no real roots. Ano bang hinahanap natin? Real roots lang kasi. So, ibig sabihin hindi siya roots. Ito lang yung may real roots. 5, which is appear 3 times. Then, our number of real roots natin dito is 3 lang. Ito lang. Because ito, ang root niya is yung sagot natin kanina. 2 plus 3i and 2 minus 3i. So, hindi siya real root. Okay? So, we're looking for the real roots lang kasi. I think na-discuss din ninyo ito during your brain run kung ano ba yung real roots. So, imaginary numbers are not real roots. Okay, let's proceed to number 8. X plus 1 and raised to 5, x minus 2 is raised to 2. So, the degree is 7. So, identify natin ang real roots. So, 1, the negative 1 appears 5 times. 5 times. Tapos, the next one is yung 1 naman appears 2 times. So, the number of real roots, we have 7 real roots. Okay, number 9. So, for number 9, x squared plus 4, x squared plus 4, and x minus 3 cubed. So, ilan yung degree? The degree of our polynomial is 3 times 3 plus 2. So, 5. The degree is 5. Now, this one. So, pwede natin extracting the roots. Ito siya. Pwede natin apply yung method na gano'n ng pag-identify ng roots sa quadratic equation. So, x squared plus 4, no? Ito sa kabila. X squared plus 4 equals 0. So, pwedeng extracting the roots tayo, no? So, x squared is equal to negative 4. Para ma-identify natin yung x, kunin natin yung square roots ng both sides. So, x is equal to, so sa negative siya maging imaginary. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya real roots. Pero, isolve na lang natin ito. So, this one, so positive, negative, kasi square root siya. So, positive, negative, 4 times negative. Hiwalay natin negative 1. Pag ganito yung cases, ito yung case, hiwalay natin negative kasi square root of negative 1 is I, is equal to I. So, that is positive, negative, square root of 4 is 2, tapos I. Because the square root of negative 1 is I. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa. So, meron tayong 2, positive 2i, tapos the second one is negative 2. So, imaginary siya. So, hindi siya real root. So, ang ano lang natin dito, ang real root lang natin is 3, which is nag-appear siya 3 times. So, the number of real roots here is 3 lang. Kasi yung dalawa is not a real roots. Okay, for number 10 naman, so the degree here is 6 dito, 6 dito, 4 na x dito. So, 6 plus 6, 12 plus 4, 16. So, 16 yung degree. Okay, identify natin yung roots, real roots. So, first one, ito. Pwede naman natin i-transpose yan siya. So, maging square root of 2. Remember, square root of 2 is different from negative square root of 2 is different from square root of negative 2. So, this one is a real siya. Real root siya. So, square root of 2, pero 6 times siya nag-appear. Next one naman is negative square root of 2, tapos 6 times din siya nag-appear. Then, the last one is x is equal to 0. So, 0, 4 times siya nag-appear. So, walang imaginary here. So, there are 16 real roots. So, yun na siya. So, my follow-up question, is it easy to give the roots of a polynomial equation when a polynomial is expressed as a product of linear factors? Give a strategy to find roots when a polynomial is expressed as a product of linear factors. Madali lang siya kung na-factor na yung polynomial. It is because i-equate na lang natin siya sa 0, tapos hahanapin na lang natin yung roots. Pwede nyo gamitan siya ng transposition or yung zero product property. Pwede ring subtracting the square roots using the quadratic formula. So, yun yung mga ginamit natin kanina. Easy lang siya pag na-factor. Okay, ito na yung theorem about sa ginawa natin kanina. The general statement for the previous observation is known as the fundamental theorem of algebra. So, ito siya. The fundamental theorem of algebra, if p of x is a polynomial equation of degree n, and with real coefficients, then it has at most n real roots. Ibig sabihin, yung number of real roots is pwede siyang, at most man siya. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung pinaka-maximum na number of real roots, yung n, yung degree ng ating polynomial. So, pwedeng, yung number of real roots natin, pwedeng equal siya doon sa number, sa degree of a polynomial. Example, yung kanina, ito, at most, 3 din dito. So, 1, 1, 2, 2. So, equal siya. Pero may mga times na hindi equal yung ating number of real roots dun sa degree. It's because may mga roots na hindi siya real roots. Tulad dito, di ba? Hindi siya real roots kasi yung sinolve natin square root of negative number. So, that is not a real number. O, ito na. So, ibig sabihin, yung pinaka-maximum na number of real roots is pwedeng equal siya sa degree ng ating polynomial. Pero not most of the time. Kasi may mga times na hindi siya real roots. So, yun yung nakalagay dito sa fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay, let's have this one. Consider the following polynomial equations. At most, how many real roots does each have? So, itong letter A. At most, ilan? At most, ilan yung real roots natin? At most, 20. Kasi the degree of the polynomial is 20. Dito, at most, 3. Dito, at most, 34. Ito siya, hindi siya na standard form. Kailangan natin i-arrange, di ba? Sa synthetic division natin, kailangan natin siyang i-arrange the descending order of power. So, the degree here is 34. So, at most, 34. So, yun yung sinasabi sa fundamental theorem of algebra that if p of x is a polynomial equation of degree n and with real coefficients, then it has at most n real roots. Okay, so this one, the activity number 3, so we will this finding roots of polynomial equation by applying the zero property product. Natin examples dito. Following polynomials by applying the zero property. Okay. Katulad ng ginawa natin kanina. Yeah? Hinanap natin yung zero by applying the zero property product. When we say zero property product, each factors dito, equate natin siya sa zero. So, halimbawa ito, find the roots. So, this one, so the first root, magiging ganito siya, diba? X plus 3, each factor equate natin sa 0. X plus 3 is equal to 0. Tapos, x minus 2 is equal to 0. Ano nangyari sa pencil natin? X minus 2 equals to 0. Teka muna. Yan natin ang pencil na. Okay. X minus 2 is equal to 0. The next one is x plus 1 is equal to 0. Tapos, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So, yan yung sinasabi na applying the zero property or the zero product property. Yan. So, the first real root natin dito is x is equal to negative 3. So, real root natin yan. So, x is equal to 2. X is equal to negative 1. And x is equal to 1. So, ganyan lang yan siya. So, ganyan yung pag-apply ng zero product property. So, each factor equate lang siya sa 0. So, it is very easy to identify the real roots when the polynomial equation is in factored form. Ito na factored. Pati yung the following na factored na rin siya. So, madali na lang ninyo ma-identify yung ating roots. So, these values of x, itong negative 3, 2, negative 1, and 1, are real roots because if we're going to substitute this dito sa equation, it will make the whole expression equal to 0. Halimbawa, ito, 1. So, pag i-apply natin yung 1 dito, so kahit isa lang dito i-apply nyo, so this 1. So, 1 minus 1 is 0. So, 0 na ito siya. So, any number, since 0 man ito siya, so this one is also a number. Number din to, number. If we're going to multiply any number to 0, that is equal to 0. So, magiging 0 is equal to 0. Ito siya, which is correct. Kung ito naman, negative 3, apply natin dito sa first factor. So, negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So, kahit anong numbers ito maglabas, kasi multiplication man ito siya, kahit anong numbers sa maglabas dito, this is also equal to 0. Ano din dito, x is equal to 2. So, 2 minus 2 naman dito, 0 ito siya. Kung i-multiply mo sa any numbers here, 0 din. So, negative 1, pag i-apply naman dito, substitute dito, 0 din. So, ganun din siya. So, that's why it is called the roots. The real roots or variations, the zeros of a polynomial equation. Ito, madali na lang ito siya. Oh. First root natin dito is negative 5. The second root is 5. The third one is negative 5. So, 2 times ito. 2 times the negative 5. Tapos, 1. Yan lang. So, 4 yung real root. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dito naman, negative 4, 2 times. Tapos, 3. 3 times. Dito naman, 0. Itong x kasi, equate natin yung 0 kasi separate mo yan siya. Tapos, 3. 4 times. Tapos, yung negative 6 pala. Negative 6. Negative 6, 2 times. Ayan. Ito naman, the first factor is 0, 2 times. Tapos yung ayan na siya. If a root occurs twice, such as negative 4 in item C equation 3, ito. The root is called a multiplicity of 2. Ito siya, negative 4 multiplicity of 2. In general, if a root occurs n times, it is called a root of multiplicity n. Siya. Multiplicity ang tawag, root of multiplicity. In other words, identify the multiplicity of each root in the equations in item C. So, negative 4, a root of multiplicity, negative 4, a root of multiplicity 2. Or negative 4 multiplicity 2, 3 multiplicity 3. Siya. Okay, so this one, yung finding roots of polynomial equations by applying the factor theorem, we will discuss this one in a separate video. So, for this video, yun lang yung ating i-discuss about, review lang natin yung lesson natin nung grade 9, yung lesson ninyo nung grade 9 about finding the roots of a quadratic equation. So, yun, dapat yung i-refresh, i-review yung 4 ways on how to find roots of a quadratic equation kasi magagamit niyo yun siya when we go with finding the factor when finding the zeros or real roots of a polynomial pag hindi siya na factored for. So with this one, thank you for your time and have a good day.